focusing on other people. Now you're also you're a public speaker, you're a life coach as well.
Yeah.
Okay, so with the life coaching, because I do want to talk about that while I have you on the line. So was that something that was after the insurance, or was that prior and you just have incorporated the two?
Okay, so my public speaking and talking thing. Okay, that's my daughter. Hey, there is someone. Why are you on my table? Okay.
That's the other thing about Zoom, right? Like in the pandemic, right? We started.
Oh yeah, we can do miracles. Okay, so what's the question again? I forgot.
I said, as far as the life coaching, did that come after insurance, or was that before?
Okay, so I think it's being part of me from a long time. I think that one is inbuilt, being a public speaker and being able to talk and incite excitement in other people. So it's something I've always had. I've actually I wanted to have it like as a second kind of hustle. But then I just felt, since there's a lot of coaching and mentoring in here, we could actually incorporate everything, and then we're coaching and teaching and doing everything together. So it's something that's always been with me. I'm still looking at speaking engagements to take that. Like I like head my light a lot. Right. So on that kind of level, right? So it's been with me for a while. I've probably not explored it to the level I want to explore it to, right? Because this obviously takes a lot of time.
Yes.
It takes a lot of time, and I'm full-time in this, but I just thought, I could actually incorporate everything together, because you still have to train, you have to teach, you have to coach, you have to motivate people, even in this business, to be successful. So, right.
Yeah. It's like what I found, and let me know if you agree, and add on, that in this industry, when you are not only developing yourself, professionally, you're also growing personally. And when you're training others and you're helping them to develop, you're kind of helping them do the same thing, grow professionally and personally as well. So I asked you, did it come before or after the insurance? Because because they definitely are very well connected with one another, right?
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think about it? I mean, what do you think about the connection between the two? Because you're kind of doing it just in training agents.
So that's one of the reasons why this part of the business appealed more to me than going to apply and being in the inside. I just felt that was going to kill all that vibe, all that excitement I had in me. And I wanted to be more on the speaking side of things, or meeting and connecting, rather than just getting forms, checking out risk and stuff like that. So it's the connection from me from day one is one of the reasons why I decided, I think I'm going to go on this path rather than going on the other path, because I wanted to do more of this, impact people directly, rather than just being in the office and doing office stuff and paperwork.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's a book in the works that's coming from you. I don't know.
Yeah. A lot of people be like, why don't you have a YouTube channel? Why don't you write a book? I'm like, okay, I'll do all that. I just need to focus on one thing. And then when I have a little bit of space, and I would think, when I become a senior vice president, I'll probably have a little bit of space, but I was so wrong. Because
that's bringing more. That's adding.
That's when the work doubled and tripled, and a lot of people from other hierarchies will come and reach out to me, and you just have to help them, because you can see the passion and the willingness, and they're probably just not getting all that. They're not getting somebody else to match that energy, and they're probably getting discouraged, and you just feel you just have to share that time with them, even though they're not in your hierarchy, right? And then that just makes me all over the place, and I thought I would have more time, but then no, I don't. But then I'm looking into I have all those things at the back of my mind. I believe there's still enough time to go into those things.
Absolutely. So there's a few questions before we close out here. The first being, how do you feel, having a license or really like working in this industry has changed you or grown you as a person?
Yeah, it has done a lot of good. especially like the idea behind life insurance and all that has always been like, you live, no money comes out. A tragedy has to happen before something comes out of it, and that's why most people don't like to hear about life insurance. But being licensed and being quite enlightened or being informed, I've been able to kind of change of course, that's why I'm able to get a lot of clients, that it doesn't have to be that way, right? You could actually use life insurance policies as an asset. You could actually have permanent ones that you could actually use to supplement your retirement income, or you could leverage on to be able to actually access some huge funds if you have good cash value. So being able to change that narrative is actually one of the things that I'm actually grateful for, because a lot of people do not really know that there are other things that a life insurance policy can do for you. So being the one to show them that you could actually use this to achieve much more, and actually having a lot of people understanding that and actually doing that, is one of those things that I'm glad that my license allows me to be able to do, or to be able to help people, just changing that idea or that narrative and making people feel it's not really always doom when it comes to life insurance. There are permanent options, or options that you could actually do many things with, apart from just protecting your family.
You've used the word, empower, quite a bit, in our conversation, and it sounds like, that's really what, what you strive to do, not only what you strive to do, but what you do, when you're speaking to people, kind of empowering them, to be able to take control of their own finances, their own like knowledge base, right? And continue to grow on that and make that better. For someone who is looking at what you do and they're feeling like maybe it's intimidating, to learn financial concepts and try to share it with someone else and talk about, tax deferred strategies, or 401ks or RAs or the equivalent, in Canada. Maybe they have a desire to, like, they're looking at you and they're like fascinated, but they're just a little bit nervous about it. Like, what would you say to that person to give them some assurance?
I'd say relax. Take it one day at a time. Like, Rome was not built in a day, so you can't know everything in one day, right? It's a whole industry, but just take it one step at a time. Find a good mentor, or a good coach, or a good somebody who actually is knowledgeable, and then be committed to that lifelong learning. As long as you want to learn first for yourself. I would say that's one of the things. I was new too, right? And everything was different. To open an account in Nigeria is so easy. Just walk into the bank and open an account. And I walk into a Canadian bank and they're asking me, is this savings? Is it checking? And I'm like, what's all that? I just want to open an account, right? So I wanted to know those things first for myself, because it was also confusing and so complicated. I'm like, why do we have to make life so complicated? So I was interested in knowing that first for myself. And then when I knew it well enough, I was excited to share it with other people, right? And then, of course, I started with immigrants like myself, whom I know would be confused with all these terminologies, and I would make it simpler. And that just gave them that confidence to always come to me for money talks, because ordinarily, like I said, I didn't have contacts, but there were immigrant groups that I joined because I wanted to know what was going on around me. Right. And then anytime there was a money topic being discussed, because that was my own area, I would come and trash it, like talk about it until everybody understands. And if I don't know it, I tell them, you know what, I'm coming back. And then I go research it on Google. And then I come back and give it to them, right? And they started calling me Mama Finance on that group. So anything that had to do, even when I'm offline, if there was an insurance question, or there was a savings question, or a child education savings question, in fact, mortgage question, even then, I didn't even have a mortgage. I was thinking of having it. But anytime there was anything that had to do with finance, whether I was on the online or not, I would see a lot of tags. And once I see the tags, if it's something I don't know, I go and learn it and come and share it, right? So knowledge is not limited to your company. It's all over the place. So you can get all the help you need. It's just about you reaching out or having the desire to learn. But don't overdose it, right? Take it one step at a time. Be teachable, be coachable, be committed to learning, and you would find out that it's really not as complicated as it looks. There are lots of people who have shared their stories with my company who were Uber drivers, or they were meat cutters, or they came from, or who were nannies. And now they're doing very well, and they're talking about financial stuff, and they're talking about it really well. So it's all about being coachable, being able to learn, and being receptive to learning, right? So as long as you're coachable, you're interested, and you're able to do some small extra works on the things you don't understand. Like I said, knowledge is not limited to the person who is training you directly, or who introduced you to the business, or even to your company. There's a whole lot of infinite knowledge source out there that you could actually tap in on. Like, I'm not in Ed Milet's company, but I'm saying that guy taught me a lot of things, especially in this industry, right? And I would go and just watch all the videos and all the wells go as if I was part of them, and take a lot of notes and follow those things to the letter, right? So it's just about being teachable and coachable and having the genuine interest in learning. It's not complicated at all. I'm sure it's not as tough. It's not tougher than what you're doing at your regular job right now. It's not tougher than it, right? And you were probably overwhelmed on the first day. But once you were done with your training, it probably started getting better. And now that you've spent some years, you're like a master there. That's just how it is on the side. So one day at a time, one step at a time. And before you know it, you feel much more comfortable. And I'm still a work in progress. So I'm always still looking for new articles and browsing through provider sites to see what's up, what's the next new thing. So it's just like that. It's really not as difficult or overwhelming as it is. Just one day at a time, and then you get there. Yeah.
Hey, look, listen, you should be inspired. You should be fired up right now to just either go get your license if you ain't got it, or just go get to work learning something new, because I'm excited. I'm pumped up. You know, she got me pumped up, you know.
Oh, wow. I'm glad.
Some information. No, I think it's amazing. And you know, look, you know, just you know, a couple things that she said. She said, you know, find those mentors, but also be accountable. You know, don't think that you got to learn it all at once. You know, break it down. You know, take it in chunks. If you get a question that you don't know the answer to, don't be afraid to say you don't know. And then go find that answer, and then come back, right? And approach it the same way that you approach whatever you had to learn in your life prior. You know, just take it, you know, one step. You're not going to know it all going in, but if you stay consistent, you stay dedicated, you stay disciplined, then you are going to get to where you want to go. Adeola, thank you so much, you know, for coming on and having this conversation, sharing your story. You dropped a lot of knowledge, you know, that can be applied. And for those that are listening out there, hope you feel empowered, hope you feel inspired, hope you feel more educated, and hope you feel motivated and heard something that spoke to you and made you think to yourself, you should get a license. Talk soon. Thanks.